Namaste. This month, major three planets are turning retrograde: Jupiter, Saturn, and Venus. Jupiter and Saturn are going to be in retrogration in Capricorn, the 10th house of natural zodiac, which represents career and karma, whereas Venus is going to turn retrograde in the sign Taurus, which is owned by him, the house of finance, the second house in natural zodiac. The period when the major three planets are in retrogration, it is time for you to learn the lessons which you have missed in the past and make use of this time to be positive and optimistic. You can also focus on creating plans for improving your money, family, career, and fortune without blaming the consequences from the past efforts. Ancient text says, Vakrinastu Mahaviryam, that is, retrograde planet is very effective. It has more operational strength than the planets in direct motion. Now, let me give you a personal message for all the moon signs and how to be most successful during this period when these planets, that is the three planets, turn retrograde. Aries. For Aries, Venus is turning retrograde in the second house from your moon sign. Jupiter and Saturn will turn retrograde in the 10th house, the house of career. To be successful during this period, you need to balance your family and work effectively. Also, you should be careful with the choice of words you use, as it may backfire. Control your spending habits and spend quality time with family to increase bonding. Taurus. Venus turns retrograde in first house, that is your moon sign, whereas Jupiter and Saturn will remain in retrogration in the 9th house, house of fortune. To make the most of this period, it is recommended to prepare your daily, weekly to-do list, as there are chances for you to be forgetful during this period. You need to remain focused and attentive at work to avoid repeat work, which might damage your image. You need to be prudent while spending, as you may get unexpected expenses. Gemini. For Gemini, Venus will be turning in retrograde in the 12th house of expense from your moon sign, and Jupiter and Saturn will turn retrograde in the 8th house. For you to be successful during this period, do not take any impulsive decision, as it may tarnish your reputation. Stress and tension could affect your health. You need to be careful while carrying money, as there are chances of it getting lost. Practice patience and think before you act, both in official and personal life. Cancer sign. Venus is turning retrograde in the 11th house from your moon. Jupiter and Saturn will turn retrograde in the 7th house of relationship. To be successful during this period, try to practice some healthy relaxation techniques, as you may lose your peace due to domestic and professional pressure, or you might be taken up with more responsibility. If not, you may experience minor health discomforts. Leo. Venus is turning retrograde in the 10th house from your moon sign, the house of career, whereas Jupiter and Saturn will turn retrograde in the 6th house. There are chances for you to experience disturbances in your career. To make the most out of this period, try to be punctual and meet your deadlines. It is recommended to be attentive at work and be careful in all your work-related communication, as this mistake might spoil your name. Virgo. Venus is turning retrograde in the 9th house from your moon sign. Jupiter and Saturn will remain retrograde in the 5th house. For you to be successful during this period, you need to be smart in making use of your intelligence to gain good name in your career. Failing to do so might cause some problems in professional progress. It is recommended not to lend money and be careful while handling money. Libra. Venus is turning retrograde in the 8th house from your moon sign. Jupiter and Saturn will remain retrograde in the 4th house, house of comfort. As Venus is your moon sign ruler, turning retrograde, it is recommended that you Do your duty, do not fret over the results. This is not the right time to expect results for your hard work, as it is not supported during this retrogression period. To make the most use of this period, you need to be clear in your communication, as it may be misinterpreted and spoil your reputation. Mother or motherly person's health may cause some concern. Scorpio, Venus is turning retrograde in the 7th house from your moon sign. Jupiter and Saturn will remain retrograde in the 3rd house. To be successful during this period, this is a time for you to develop patience, as there are chances for you to pick up frequent arguments with family members. You need to think twice before involving in any money transactions, or if you are thinking of making any investments, you need good advice or a good decision. If not, you may lose peace of mind. Sagittarius, Venus is turning retrograde in the 6th house from your moon sign. Jupiter and Saturn will turn retrograde in the 2nd house of finance and speech. It is time for you to revisit and improve skills that might help your progress. You need to be careful while dealing with others, as there may be hidden enemies working behind you to tarnish your image. To be successful in this period, it is good for you to reduce your expenses by attending only to your needs and not wants. If not, you may have to take loans. One of the family members' health might cause some concern. Help them to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Capricorn, Venus is turning retrograde in the 5th house from your moon sign. Jupiter and Saturn will turn retrograde in your 1st house. Your inclination towards spirituality will help refocus and determine to progress well in this time. To make the most out of this period, keep continuing your good work and do not expect productive results immediately. As Jupiter and Saturn retro is happening in your moon sign, you need to be extra careful with your health, as it may affect your health. Aquarius, Venus is turning retrograde in the 4th house from your moon sign. Jupiter and Saturn will turn retrograde in the 12th house. To be successful in this period, you need to focus your attention on your family and finance. Do not trust your friends and make an investment on their advice, as it may not yield beneficial result. During this period, father or fatherly person's health may cause some concern. Take good care of them. And finally, Pisces, Venus is turning retrograde in the 3rd house from your moon sign, and Jupiter, Saturn will turn retrograde in the 11th house. For you to be more successful during this period, it is important that you keep up your communication very clear and precise, as there are chances for them to be misunderstood. Your siblings might bring you unwanted expenses. As your moon sign ruler Jupiter is turning retrograde, it is not the time for you to enroll in any short-term online courses, as you may not be able to complete it. May the Almighty shower His choicest blessings on you and your family members. Namaste.